He then began to debunk the issue. Skepticism is very healthy, and I'm a big skeptic about more than 90% of the information out there on the subject, which the public needs to be skeptical. However, skepticism is not just blindly denying everything that's legitimate. For example, we have 3,500 cases where extraterrestrial vehicles have landed and left physical traces. We have 4,000 cases where they have been tracked on radar and seen by pilots. We have an enormous amount of photo and video evidence and physical evidence. And in our last project, brought out an actual body that is most likely not of human origin. So the question becomes, what is the metric for the evidence? Well, the evidence is actually overwhelming. There's more evidence for UFOs than there are for black holes, most of the theories in astrophysics, most of the evidence for most of the medicines you take. I'm speaking now as a trauma doctor. And yet, we have this blockage in the mainstream media and scientific establishment saying, where is the evidence?
Officially, the U.S. government ended its study of UFOs in 1969 because it assured the public there is no proof the phenomenon represents a threat to national security.
But what if these unknown aircraft showed an interest in our nuclear weapons? A group of more than 150 military veterans, missile officers, security personnel, including many who worked at the Nevada test site, say they've seen mystery intruders over nuclear facilities.
On record talking about the UFO mystery.
Yeah, Presidents Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan both had UFO sightings of their own, but the current presidential campaign might be the first in which UFO disclosure has been championed by a major party candidate.
We had your husband, President Clinton, on this show. He said, I asked him about UFOs, and that's the first thing I do. I go right into those files and see what was going on.
Right.
And he said that he did do that.
Yes.
And that he didn't find anything.
Well, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, why not?
And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
Within a couple months of me briefing the CIA director, I get a visit from one of Bill Clinton's good friends to my home who says, they love what you're recommending, that the president do executive orders to declassify and bring all this information out. This man comes to my house and says, president won't do it, it's too dangerous. He didn't want to be president, he shouldn't have taken on the responsibility and sworn an oath to the Constitution. And he says, yeah, but you don't understand. They don't think that they can protect the president. And he says, well, they're concerned that President Clinton will end up like Jack Kennedy.
We live in an ever-expanding universe. We know that there are billions of stars and planets literally out there, and the universe is getting bigger. We know from our fancy telescopes that just in the last 2 years, more than 20 planets have been identified outside our solar system that seem to be far enough away from their suns and dense enough that they might be able to support some form of life.
Won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
of the sky we call the portal. That is headed towards the portal, and he's also powering up for us. You guys, we have a power up.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a power up. That was somebody saying hi. Now, in a little while, we'll try lasering him again. What you do is you want to flash like this. You go flash, flash.
September 7th, Thursday, 5:55 Mountain Time, 2017. The CME has arrived. Geomagnetic storms in progress. The CME just hit Earth's magnetic shields at 2300 Universal Time. It is the debris from the X9 solar flare that was launched off of the sun yesterday at 12 Universal Time. So this thing was traveling at staggering speeds. What, 3 million miles per hour? I'm just taking that off the top of my head. Anyway, we've got a severe G4 class geomagnetic storm, which is being described by observers up in the Arctic Circle as surreal, massive auroras all the way around. This is a KP8. Right now, the BZ is tilted south, so that means the energy can come in, and it is coming in dramatic fashion. Dipping down out of the Arctic Circle, got to be visible in Maine, Newfoundland. I would say fairly easily, as long as the BZ stays south, you should be able to see them in Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana. That's if the smoke permits. This smoke is unbelievable. The entire western half of the United States is inundated with wildfire smoke. These things need to be put out. But anyway, this is the ionosphere reacting, still reacting. This has been juiced for days. Here's the storm. It's a KP8. There's the flare just 36 hours ago, and we've already got a full-blown, what they are describing as a surreal auroral outbreak in the Arctic Circle that should dip down. I'm not going to say mid-latitudes, but at least the high latitudes, as long as the door stays open. So big heads up, guys. The BZ is tilted south right now, so the energy is flowing quite strongly, and we've got a KP8 storm. Strongest I've seen in many, many years. That is a severe storm. Thanks for watching. Heads up, and be safe out there.